All right, KeNikka. Seth Rollins is feeling a little disappointed about the Bears, which means it's time to stop the press.
Stop the press.
Stop the press! This guy.
Welcome to our new Stop the Press segment here on the KeNikka Sports Channel. If this is your first time, please do us a favor and like this video. Subscribe to our channel for Bears news, rumors, and media criticisms. Ooh. And much, much more along the way. KeNikka.
Yes.
There seems to be a general consensus out there amongst Bears fans on social media, and now it's trickling into the mainstream media that the Bears haven't done enough this free agency period to negate the losses that have come this free agency period. In fact, if you look at the graphic here to start the video, it shows that the Bears have added Neville Gallimore, Kobe Bryant, and Devin Bush on defense, but they've lost Jermaine Edmonds, Nahshon Wright, Kevin Byard, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Jaquan Brisker. I mean,
so they lost
those are
5
names we heard a lot during Bears games this year, and I think fans are panicking a little bit.
Okay, that's fair, but it's too early to panic.
It is too early to panic, but at the same time, it's not stopping it from happening. Well, there's no bigger Bears fan out there than Seth freaking Rollins, everybody. And he is a Good Morning Football contributor. And he was asked about this by host Michael Yam.
Okay.
And I clipped this for everybody because I think Seth is joining the Bears social media fandom in wanting to jump off the bridge. And so we need to listen to what he had to say about this. And then we need to stop him. We need to stop him from
jumping
off.
off.
We need to talk him off the ledge.
All right. Let's hear it.
That's what Bears general manager Ryan Poles had to say about the changes on that unit.
I think there's a common theme with the guys that we brought in. One, we wanted to get faster, more explosive, and I think we did that. In order to play the style we need to play, we need to be able to close on the football a lot faster than what we had been doing. So that was the emphasis going into it. And again, watching these guys tape, we answered that.
All right, so maybe there are some answers there.
That's Michael Yam, by the way, and that was also Ryan Poles speaking about what the Bears did on defense in free agency. And as you can hear, he was talking about closing on the ball, speed. This all kind of adds up to me with what Ben Johnson would be looking for in players right now.
Hell yeah!
Do you agree with that assessment a little bit?
Yes, faster, younger.
Faster and younger, yeah.
That's what it's
a little bit of the youth movement here. Let's continue.
I know one person who can definitively answer that question. Seth, are you buying or trying right now? The Chicago's team, have they answered enough on the defensive side to go and win this division?
God, this hurts me. It hurts. It pains me inside, guys. I don't want to go against my squad, but I got to keep trying on this one. I really do. Man. That hurts.
You're hurting me too, bro.
I want to believe, but at the end of the day, look, Chicago was bad on defense. They were not good. They survived off turnovers.
You're answering your own question, Seth.
Turnover is a big part of winning football games. Absolutely. You win that turnover battle, that's a good start. But they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass.
Exactly.
And the biggest thing.
Look at those stats on the board right now.
Yeah.
23rd in points per game allowed. 29th in yards per game allowed.
At the bottom.
Sacks, 22nd. This is a bottom third of the league defense on the whole.
So what are you holding on to?
The one area where they finished first was takeaways.
Okay.
And I think the general consensus, and I have to agree, is that is unsustainable.
Yes.
That is unsustainable.
And with the draft coming up, we don't know what kind of holes we're going to be plucking. And also, Ben Johnson wants to work with the youth because he can pull a lot of them.
We'll talk about that in 1 second, but let's get through the rest of this video with our guy Seth going on the ledge here.
One of the things they have not done this offseason thus far, I mean, we still got a draft coming up here in a month or so. They have not addressed the issue of their ability to rush the passer, especially off the edge. They had a couple of pickups last season that they thought were going to pan out, and they just have not.
Those pickups last season, by the way, Dio Odengbo.
Yeah.
Not great, everybody. A lot of money tied up with that. So I understand it.
Montez Sweat is still a force when he needs to be sometimes, but it's not as consistent as you would like.
Yes.
And a lot
Agreed.
of times it just leaves that secondary on an island. And their linebackers were not fast enough last year. Jermaine Edmonds was not there. TJ Edwards was not healthy a lot of the season. And so I just don't know until I was hoping we would add a pass rusher in Chicago to kind of speed up those offenses a little bit and make it a little bit easier on that secondary. But for now, Mike G, I hate to do it. I'm going against the Bears. I got to keep trying on this one.
Well,
You can't just focus on what's now. You have to look at it beyond it. There's more to come.
yeah, this roster is going to look a lot different, I think, come the end of August.
Absolutely.
And we have a long journey to go to get there. And
And then we have
this
trials.
is just
So we're gonna have tryouts.
the first wave.
Yes.
You know, like we've literally just kind of started to crack into the second wave of free agency.
Absolutely.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Well, I want to first bring up that the defensive players that we did lose that we saw at the beginning of the video, they didn't make very much money on the open market when they went to the market. In fact, Jermaine Edmonds is the only one that got a multi-year deal out of anybody there. And he's the only one that kind of got paid relatively decent. 3 years, $36 million. But I think a lot of people argued that that's an overpay for him.
Okay.
Some of these other guys like CJ Gardner-Johnson getting $6 million a year from Buffalo, Bears people probably had him more at around $3 to $4 million a year. So you cannot stop other teams from overpaying for where you have players valued, because that's just going to lead you to being a train wreck later. And again, I think there are better players to fit Dennis Allen's system and Ben Johnson's style of playing football, which I feel like is speed and explosiveness.
Absolutely. And you got to give these guys the pieces that they require to have that kind of a game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I look at Kobe Bryant right now as the new defensive leader in the Bears locker room. He is going to replace Kevin Byard, not only at the position, but he's probably going to have a C on his chest come end of training camp. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that right now. I heard him speak. He, out of all the new Bear players, is kind of the most serious in tone. He seems to have a true professionalism about him. Not to say that Devin Bush doesn't, but he is a little flashier behind the microphone, a little bit more fun. Kobe Bryant spoke business to me, and I like that about him.
Yeah.
I like that having a mixed locker room. Don't get me wrong. You can't have all serious people in there. But you got to have leaders that are serious and business-like.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, look for Kobe Bryant to become that guy. He's 27, and he's got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, he's going to be the locker room leader.
I also think the Bears are being really smart here by not chasing these defensive end signings that we've seen in free agency, starting with Trey Hendrickson, going on down. I mean, these massive amounts of guaranteed money. And you saw what happened to the Packers last year with Micah Parsons tearing his ACL against the Broncos late in the season. And it literally might have crippled their chances at winning the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
And it's an important position. Don't get me wrong. I just think you're better off risking it in the draft and trying to find the next third or fourth round Trey Hendrickson / Max Crosby. That's when those guys were taken.
Yeah.
They weren't taken in the first round. They were taken in the third and fourth round. You can find those guys there. This becomes about scouting and evaluating players. And I think with Ben Johnson here now, that evaluation is going to be much different than in the past.
Yes, and he wants the competition for the position.
The Bears also are not restructuring any of their existing contracts yet. And there is going to be some of that, but the more that they don't have to do, the more flexibility they get next year. And next year, they're already projected to have between $80 and $100 million available to spend. So food for thought while we go into that season. By the way, we're going to have to pay Caleb Williams a crap load of money somehow.
Sure.
So,
and I don't think Ryan Pauls wants to kick the can down the road and have this piled up at the end for the next season to do all the restructuring or year after that.
100%.
So whatever he can get this year with the draft, it will be helpful for the next season of the contract restructures.
Absolutely. And I think the last thing I want to say about this is this is why we hired Ben Johnson also.
And he makes a lot of money too.
To coach up players and to find talent where others fail.
Absolutely.
And to bring out the best of the talent that is on the roster. And that's not just Caleb Williams.
No.
That's the most important one, don't get me wrong. But that goes all the way down to man number 53 and then some.
Well, he's the coach of all the players, not just Caleb's.
He is. And you are only as strong as your weakest link. And that is so true in football, especially in a sport with injuries.
Yes.
And that you need next man up kind of mentality almost on all 22 spots on the starting lineup and then some. It's an unforgiving, cutthroat business. And the stronger you are at the back end of your roster, the better off you're going to be. And so I'm glad we didn't chase those objects. And I'm glad now we're going to go into this draft. We still have our draft picks. And we're going to probably get a bunch of new players for Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen to develop. And that's also going to lead to competition at some of the existing spots. Look at how much our rookies last year contributed. Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Kyle Monungai, all big impact players on offense. Let's do the same thing on defense this year.
Yep.
And I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
I think so.